The Todd Shapiro Show, SiriusXM 168.
So Michael McCrudden from before they were famous. You've known his journey for the last couple of years on the program. He worked for Inform Overload. He helped the Todd Shapiro Show channel grow, which is at 2 million views collectively, which on our end we're very proud of. And thank you for supporting that and going there later and finding out our interviews and our little mishaps and all that kind of stuff we do here. And then in those this time he's been growing a channel called Before They Were Famous on his it's his Michael McCrudden channel, Mr. McCrudden Michael, and now he's over 800,000 subscribers. Congrats again.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. You guys have been with me the whole time, so it's you guys are some of my best friends in the city and the world. So thank you so much for helping me out along the way.
Now, how has your life changed?
Too many ways it has changed, my friend. It was okay. I thought of how to break this down, especially for your listeners. The Kendra Sunderland thing. That was about a year ago, and people listening are probably like, "This guy's been working on YouTube forever," so I don't understand why it was so bad. But it was, and different channels make different kinds of money, and people run businesses different ways. When Kendra Sunderland was flying here, I had a job interview that day at Medieval Times, where I was offered $12 an hour, and I would be shoveling the horse's shit. And I was like, I got to take this job. I need the money, and I didn't even get the job. And then Kendra Sunderland,
Wow.
So like my life was.
They're like, you can't even shovel a horse's shit. You.
I don't know what that says about YouTube celebrities, though. Okay.
I don't know. It's the entertainment industry or the traditional world basically said, no Michael McCruddens need apply here.
Huh. So. That's weird because I always liked you. Like a good-looking guy, fun guy, hard-working guy. Found you sometimes like a bit high energy, but reminded me of when I was young and stuff. And I just don't know what would have scared you off from potential employers. I would have thought you'd been an asset for sure. So then you continue. Well, first out, you have fun with Kendra Sunderland that weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot to have fun with a girl like that.
It was fun. It was a good time. And then, but you just stuck to it, man.
It was. YouTube was die or do YouTube. So I put everything I could into it, and I continued to do that for the past 6 months, to the point of like exhaustion. But some of the things that I've accomplished and the team I've built, and I announced it recently, the Michael McCrudden Network. We have 8 channels. The people that work with me are getting a shot at the big time with everything I've learned. I'm giving to them. It's pretty remarkable, and it makes me feel like Bane.
Yes. That's weird.
I am a bit of a character.
Toronto Bane.
Bane.
Yeah, there is a Toronto Batman.
There's a Toronto Batman. There should be a Toronto Bane.
Yeah. Now, with this success of, it's growing and growing and growing, you're going to be at over 1 million and over a few million, and probably next year at this time for sure, if not more. And the amounts of the hundreds of thousands of views, the viral vids, one went 13 million with Mia Khalifa. I know the angle because I believe in YouTube and I see the success of YouTube celebrities and stars and creators and what they do, and I'm really compassionate about it and passionate about it. I'm compassionate for you guys as artists, and I'm passionate about it as, hey, cool, this could happen even for our show one day. And, I don't look at the mainstream media as that important any day, but with your success, tell us the two ends of the spectrum, the one where people have started to reach out like they never did before, but are there still some dinosaurs, do you believe, that don't understand this sort of this roadway to success?
In the last year, it's become mainstream. So no longer, my mom would say, he's throwing his life away doing ridiculous stuff on YouTube. Now
say it like more like in her accent.
Oh, geez, Michael. You're running in circles with your bloody videos. Nobody cares, Michael. Go and get a real job like at Purelator or FedEx. I heard they're hiring. So they were. I looked. So that's really changed. Like, obviously, my mother's knows what's going on.
Okay.
But my son now works on YouTube. He is a star in Florida. Like, so she's like she's thinking that way. But as Lily Singh shows up on the Tonight Show, or they're on the front page of the newspaper, I think the world is pretty well aware now, and YouTubers are really talking about their money so openly. I've never seen that before, except Jenna Marbles maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Now they're all kind of doing that.
Who's doing that now?
Lily Singh did her.
She said she's a millionaire.
Correct.
Yeah.
Who else? There was another big reveal. At the moment, I can't tell you. I can't remember. Yeah.
But have you been presented now more opportunities in mainstream TV or hosting things? Like, is that starting to come your way now?
Yeah, I get like random emails from all sorts of places across America. Be in our movie. We want to make you're a character, and it's because of your YouTube career. You've inspired someone in this film, and then at the end they meet you. What kind of production that is, I do not know.
Okay.
But then like, the Huffington Post thinks my content is so great that they're promoting it and sharing it. The Rolling Stone magazine is talking to Deadmau5 about the video I've made on him, and Deadmau5 is saying this guy does his homework. Big publications are reaching out to me probably on a weekly basis, and it blows my mind.
I showed one video that McCrudden did, his second ever before they were famous, on Russell Peters. And I showed it to Russell Peters when I was staying with Russell. And to be honest, I thought it sucked because it was the second one ever. And then I said to Russell, I'm like, no, they really improved, because I'm a huge fan of Michael's. But that was his second one ever. It would have been like my first ever radio show, that type of thing. And then he just replied to us like, no, man, like that's good stuff. Like I like that. And it's neat to see the celebrities appreciate what you're doing. You get a lot of that, don't you?
Yeah, within 24 hours, typically, unless they're an A-lister, example, Nicolas Cage, he ain't jumping on the Twitter sphere to figure out who's talking about him because he's probably sick of it all. But these Instagram models, porn stars, rappers, anyone, DJ Khaled, anyone that's in this new media game is with it, and typically 95% of the time thinks my stuff's dope.
Hey, Brody, doesn't it blow you away sometimes the people that Michael features who maybe you or I never even heard of, but they're getting 500,000 views?
It's amazing, and you go on his channel, and there's people you've never heard of that are like getting 1 million, 2 million views, and then some big name celebrities that you would think would get that and don't get it at all. And the content's still good regardless of the views, but
yeah,
it's just crazy to see that.
So now, I mean, what's the generation? Because there are some guys you do, and I'm like, why are they so off some radar still, but so on yours? What is that? What is that?
There's a lot of appeal and mystery. So some of these people, I know the struggle of every industry. I know how hard it is to be a writer, to be an actor, to be whatever. They've somehow managed to break through. Typically, we're talking about like online stars or these big fascinations.
Who's an example?
What comes to mind is Skin Diamond. But we just...
So what's Skin Diamond? Is that a porn star?
She's a porn star.
She is a porn star.
Who was a recent success? H3H3.
Yeah, so
very popular video right there.
Never heard of H3H3 in my life.
Yes. Okay. H3H3. Yeah. So it's a couple that was pretty down on their luck. They couldn't get the jobs that they were after in the entertainment industry, and whatever. They put a YouTube channel together. They were taking the piss out of other YouTubers, and then really doing their own original, rich content, very funny, very unique. And with that mix, they got some headlines, then they had some good content, and they're huge. But again, they don't make it very personal at times. So people want the Coles notes. They want it all broken down, how they met, how they did this, how down on their luck they were, and what they've achieved now. And that's, people know I give you a quality video. I break it all down. It's not going to take you 6 hours of watching their YouTube videos to figure it out. And that's why it's blowing up, and they're very topical at the moment. And yes, the big wigs have no idea what they're doing because they just haven't figured out that YouTube is where it's at.
And it's definitely where it's at. Now, I mean, the one thing would you say that people are listening to you now, and as inspiring as you are from what you've done, that it's still, let's be honest here, you shouldn't go and quit everything and think you're going to go and be an overnight success on YouTube, right?
No, like I've been stockpiling a skill set for a decade plus. You go to university, so I studied film. My show, I use a lot of film clips because I've got that years of experience. But then I went to school to be a writer. I worked in film, worked in television. You learn how to meet people, how to work with them. Then I worked on YouTube for 5 years, so you learn the back end of YouTube. You learn what sells a YouTube video. There's a lot of things to learn, so it's tough to get into it. But with that being said, there's some 14-year-olds that are gonna do it in a year.
And do you ever fear you're going to lose it?
Oh, I've diversified. Well, because of that fear, I've diversified. There's a McCrudden business here, and if I'm a dinosaur myself in a couple years, well, I can shift my focuses elsewhere.
And how have you diversified it?
With the McCrudden Entertainment is hosting 8 different channels on there. We have, of course, before they're famous, we have Beer for Breakfast, which is college culture, drinking games, a bit of vlogging with my team. You want to see them after hours, get to know them a little looser. We're doing stuff like that. Then I have the Science Faction Show. So it's, Bill Nye the Science Guy, but YouTube style. We have a children's channel for babies or infants, for youth. It's called Cutest Toy Collector. On top of that, Azzyland has her own channel. This girl is going to be a mega star, and she's really helped me grow this show that I do. So it's time to give back to her. And Matt Rubel is, he's my wingman. He's been there, almost from the start. So he's got his own show, and he's a genius when it comes to politics.
Question time.
Question time is the name of the show.
Very good stuff.
Yeah. And are some of these channels still only getting a few thousand views right now? So they're really in their infancy. So that gives hope for others, I love
giving hope is, I relied on a lot of people, Azzy and Matt being two of the main people, to trust me and work with me and sacrifice to make stuff happen. So I'm giving back now. And can these for sure make it, or is it still a bit of a gamble? For sure, it's definitely a gamble. But again, I've got a lot of experience. What I've done in 6 months is pretty remarkable, and I'm going to apply all the best things I can to that.
And now we only have about 4 minutes left, Michael, and I apologize. It took Bilal 18 minutes to set up a camera here. You put out this video, and some thought you're mocking Matthew Santoro's My Abuse story that some think was very serious, some think he was a pussy for doing, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever, you reserve whatever right you have in that situation. Mm-hmm. I mean, my opinion is abuse, and again, whether it's alleged, I think, I don't know. I'm not going to get into him. But you did this video called My Abuse Story, and it was kind of I know you as a guy who just goes and as a host presents sort of, at least to the best of your ability, factual clips and conversations about stars. That was really delving deep into you personally. What was that like? What was the purpose of that? And are you happy with the results of it? Thanks for bringing it up. I'm going to ask you guys what you thought of the thumbnail. I'm actually interested to hear. But I just know that we were launching the network. Also tomorrow, michaelmccrudden.com launches, and we have some great content on that website, guys. You should check it out tomorrow. But I became, with so much going on and so much work and my life changing so drastically, I just became, I was actually like emotional. And as such a hosty guy who always comes in here, hey guys, what's up? For the first time, I just needed to get something off my chest. Usually I make my thumbnail first. For this video, I didn't know what to title it, and I didn't know how to make the thumbnail. I just knew I wanted to share with my audience how grateful I was, and a little bit about me, because I was a mystery. Which is sort of what you've told us. It's been a process to get to where you are. This isn't overnight. You almost had to shovel shit, and you didn't get that job. Correct. So at the final, I've shared my sad story with the world. What am I going to title this? At the end of the day, I'm a host. That Matthew Santoro is a star. You've called him in the past the Tom Cruise of YouTube, and there's no better way to phrase it. He is that big of an icon. And he's brilliant. His abuse story that's his thing. It's true. It's a type of abuse. Mine's definitely in a different vein, and spread out over 10 years. But with him being such a star, also someone in Toronto, it's relatable. I knew that would get people over to hear what I have to say. Do you have any regrets titling it that, or was that even I see the humor in it. Some people don't see the humor in mocking abuse, and that So, but do you and the clickbaity term I hear in YouTube, but that's part of it. You want to draw views, and it's still a great, genuine story once you get there. Yeah, in truth, I've been a mixed bag of emotions about it. I've reached out to Matt, and if there's any situation where he needs an apology, I'd be ready to give it to him in a second. But I think I did the best thing I could to share my message. Cool. What'd you guys actually think of it? Was it too much? I thought it was great. It was positive. At the end of the day, you talked about what you went through, and you're appreciative of where you are, and really appreciative of the people that stuck by you and the viewers and stuff. That's all we have, our audiences. That's all we are. And I really respected that. You connected with your audience, and that's great. And the only thing, I only have a minute here, and it's not disparaging, and it's not rude towards you, or it's that the only thing I caution all YouTubers of is that to really relish and cherish in their success that they have at the moment, because while you're obviously had to vent and talk about the struggles to get there, which I also get, and it's a thing we get to do here in radio, which is be ourselves. You guys are so popular right now that I hope you enjoy that time, only because a lot of other mediums don't have that. And there are struggles for TV stars, for sportscasters, for radio shows. I lost a job, all this kind of stuff. So I just hope that you got it out of your system and you just really enjoy what you have in front of you, even if it were to end tomorrow, because that is, at the end of the day, how most of us are in media, whether you're a rock star, a movie star, a radio shows, TV star, or a YouTube star. Does that make sense? Yes, I agree with you. I hate to rush you off, buddy. Come back anytime. You know that. Mike and
man. I love
McCrudden. Before they're famous, if you haven't checked out one of the best quality YouTube channels out there, make sure you do so today.
That was another rare moment in mainstream media where your broadcasters actually spoke the truth. Okay, we lied. We're not quite mainstream. We're bigger. The Todd Shapiro Show on SiriusXM 168.
Hey, what's up? I'm Roddy. Subscribe to our channel. You're going to love it. For the rest of this episode, you got to check out our podcast online on the website. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed.